What's up, everybody? So two things kind of tied together. So a lot of people ask me, there was stuff coming up because I said that we lost the War of 1812. Technically, the War of 1812 has never ended, because the American people have never demanded a peace treaty with the organization that actually orchestrated the War of 1812. Second, it came up about like how was I able to do this, or like people keep asking. Well, this took 5 years, like 5 years of research and then learning and books and everything else. One of the things that came up about the American people's common trust was that trusts have to have what's called consideration. Consideration is a piece of real property. Okay, so let me give you an example. The Statue of Liberty was commissioned through France after the peace treaty between the North and the South. So the Statue of Liberty came from France. It was a gift. It wasn't a gift. All these statues, when you go around like Washington, D.C. and all this stuff, all these statues with the horses and all this stuff, these are treaty considerations. The obelisk in Washington, in New York City from Egypt, that's called consideration. So when you make an adjoinder, or you make a treaty, or you can adjoin in law, in actual law, in international law, when you make that compact or that covenant, you have to give something, you have to contribute something to codify that relationship. Well, when we found that out, luckily for us, the organization I'm with, one of the founders of the Brotherhood and Tribulation of the American People is the owner, unencumbered owner, of a piece of land in Maryland that has been designated the headquarters of our organization. It is 6.5 acres without a loan on it that has been offered to the United States Army and the United States Marine Corps. And it sits north of what's called Tangent and south of the Mason-Dixon line, where the William Penn Liberty Bell Trust comes down to the Tangent line, and the Lord Baltimore grant from the King of England comes up to the Mason-Dixon line. So it actually puts us in territorial jurisdiction, and it puts us in provincial jurisdiction. So it puts us under the Declaration of Independence and the Articles of Confederation, which subsequently the United States Marine Corps is the Declaration of Independence, security administrator, because they were before the United States. And the U.S. Army, before the United States, or the Constitution, is the Articles of Confederation rightful claimant. So we had to offer that piece of property to those two organizations in trust to take jurisdiction, and that's part of the process that we're working on. So someone asked me about Russell J. Gould. Russell J. Gould has secured technically the U.S. flag. I want to tell you why it's the U.S. flag. If you go to Fort McHenry, right, which is down the road, because the headquarters is in Maryland, if you go to Fort McHenry and you actually walk around, you will find out that there is another American national flag. That flag has 15 bars and 15 stars, okay, which was each territory. The stars are gold. That flag flies during the day. That's actually the flag that the Star Spangled Banner was written by Francis Scott Key. At night and in rainstorms, they fly the U.S. flag, the flag that we all think is the American flag. That's actually a U.S. flag. That flag, according to the Marine Corps Museum down in Triangle, Virginia, that flag was not granted until 1819, which was 5 years after the permanent President pro temp of the Senate was put in place in 1814. So the vice president is supposed to be vice president and president of the Senate. But because the 12th Amendment has not been invoked since James Madison, the vice president is actually there. Everybody stepped up a position. So because everybody stepped up, because the 12th Amendment's hasn't been used since James Madison, so they had to put a permanent president pro temp in 1814 after the Republic fell, and we have had a permanent president pro temp in the Senate since 1814. You can go look at the Supreme Court, the U.S. Senate website. This is not me, like it's literally written right on the website. You just have to know what it means. So the American national flag is 15 stars, gold stars, because they're territory, so it's gold, and 15 bars. So people have asked about the one video that got a bunch of views where it showed the 17 redcoats at the inauguration underneath the Capitol, right? But they had no guns. That's 17 redcoats. So by 1812, after the English army got their asses kicked by a bunch of farmers, they went back and changed their colors from red to green. They've been green ever since. So the 17 redcoats that were underneath the Capitol, if you look at my video with the redcoats, there are 17. The reason there are 17 is because there were 15 bars of 15 stars, which made up the 15 territories, but the 15 bars and 15 stars did not include Florida and Arkansas territories that were picked up before we lost the War of 1812. So back to Russell J. Gould, he has the U.S. flag, which he secured from the U.S. Congress, which is the 1819 Congress, which is a corporate flag. And that is the flag that was established after. So he secured that. That's actually a Article 1 flag. And then if you ever get a chance to go to D.C., go to the Brotherhood and Tribulation of American People's our address is at 1300 Pennsylvania Avenue. That is the International Trade Center. If you go to the bottom of the International Trade Center, they have a memorial for the young republic. It actually has all the flags, including what's called the Grand Congress flag, the flag of the Grand Congress. See, the Continental Congress became the Grand Congress after the republic was established. And so there was a different flag, and that was the Grand Congress's flag. That wasn't the American people's flag. So I hope this answers your question. Russell J. Gould, he has the actual U.S. flag. He has possession of it. It would be great if he offered it into the trust and we could turn it over to the American people. That would be super cool, because we're already turning over 6 acres of land and basically giving it back to the American people. So God bless, Godspeed. Catch you on the flip side.